Hello and welcome to my review of Naruto Arc 3 Konoha Crush episode 68 to 80. We're so close to the good number. I'm going to talk about the big plot points of the arc and work my way through it, giving my opinions as and when. So the previous arc was the Chunin exams, which get interrupted when the village is attacked by Orochimaru and his goons, shall we say, the Sand village people. Not village people. They have not attacked the village. It seems that Gara was meant to be a very important part of this plan.
Gara は砂の切り札なのだ。ガーラには何としても働いてもらわねばならん。お前たちは一旦ここを出て、ガーラの傷の手当てをしろ。
But he's been like consumed by his spirit sand demon thing, so that goes wrong and he is taken away. The thing that I really liked about this arc is they split it into three different stories. So you had Sasuke pursuing Gara, who has been taken away. You have Naruto and his group following him to protect him, and then you've got Orochimaru and the third Hokage fighting. So Orochimaru and the third Hokage are on the top of a building. He's taken him hostage. They've used this sound barrier so no one can get in, so those two are fighting, and we do get some incredibly interesting moments between them. I don't know if it was just how the show had sold him or my perception, but for the third Hokage, I was like, I didn't dislike him, don't get me wrong, but I just didn't have any strong feelings towards him. He was like the sage old character, which was interesting, but it wasn't amazing. So when he was taken hostage, I thought, oh, this is the end of him, he's got no chance. But his fighting skills were incredible. The initial fight that they have together was crazy interesting. Then the story moves back to the stands where this gas has been released, and Kakashi Sensei, my boy, is awake. A lot of people fall asleep, but most of the Junins have stayed awake. Credit where credit is due, Sakura manages to stay awake, which, was really quite impressive. Kakashi Sensei says to her, wake Naruto and Shikamaru up and go get Sasuke back, which she goes over to Naruto to wake him up, and then we learn that Shikamaru was awake anyway. He'd managed to overcome the gas that had come out, and I think this arc for me made him one of my favourites because he was really interesting. I think in the previous arc when he was in the Chunies, I kind of set him up a little bit and we saw that he's quite powerful and he's very intelligent, but this arc just rounded him off and we got a real sense of who he was and what his deal is. So just when he was asleep and I don't want to be involved in this, I found that really funny and I did laugh. So that group have gone, they're chasing after Sasuke. We go back up to the roof where Orochimaru and the third Hokage are fighting, and there's some incredible moves happening, and then Orochimaru does something that I actually gasped at when I first saw it. I was like, oh my god, you can't mean this, because he obviously was the bad guy for the second arc, and you're thinking, oh, he's bad, but he hasn't done anything to prove how bad he is, and he uses sacrifices to summon the first and second Hokage, which when it happened, I remember audibly gasping, going, oh my god, you can't do this is the worst. But again, super interesting and exciting to see that he'd done this, and then you've got the third Hokage. These were his friends, these were his teachers, these were whoever, and he now has to fight them. Oh god, it was just so sad. I'm thinking, please, third Hokage, you can make it, you can do it. And they're fighting, and it's so horrible to have to watch him fight his teachers and people that trained him. As all this is going on, Naruto's group is heading through the forest with a dog that Kakashi Sensei summoned, and the dog tells them basically that they are being followed by these sound ninjas. So
後ろから2小隊8人。いや、もう1人。9人が追ってきとる。
Shikamaru says he will hold them up so Naruto and Sakura can go and find Sasuke. And the show did this really interesting thing where they kind of made me, for a good couple of minutes, wonder if Shikamaru would actually stay. I believe it's Sakura who says, like, are you sure he's not just going to leave? Because his whole thing was he's, like, lazy and he doesn't want to do anything, he doesn't want to partake in all of this. But, you know, this is, like, his moment, and he said, I'm going to do this. And for a while it was all going on, I'm thinking, is he going to stay? I hope he stays. I hope he does what he says he's going to do. And he does, you know, he stays there, he catches most of the ninjas in a shadow possession jutsu, and he pretty much would have won that fight if he hadn't have run out of chakra, because he was fighting earlier in the Chunin exams, and he is saved by his teacher. So he really earned that moment, and I felt it to be just what he needed as a character. It showed that he is quite caring and he's not super selfish, he just doesn't want to exert energy, which I can really identify with. So anyways, the story goes on. Sasuke is chasing down Gaara. He's managed to get close enough. So Sasuke is caught up with them. Tamari tells Kankaro and Gara to go on without her and she will slow Sasuke down, and he pretty much defeats her really quickly and keeps going after them. He then finds Kankaro again with Gara, and like out of nowhere, Bug Boy shows up.
Surprise, motherfucker.
お前の相手はこっちだ。
てめえは。
And these two have a fight, which was like really good, but also super disgusting. And I was like, ugh. I enjoyed it in the way of it was a very good fight and it was super gratifying to see them fight, but it was also gross because of all the bugs. So Sasuke carries on and finds Gara again, and this time he's woken up and he's ready for Sasuke. They have a fight, and I think this is really good for Sasuke's character development, is because he's always been very confident within his skills and he's a great ninja and he's got his Sharingan, so he's very powerful. But he just comes up against Gara, who is like a wild animal at this point, and attacks and attacks, and no matter what Sasuke does, he can't defeat him. And it was this really horrible moment when I'm watching it and I'm seeing him go deeper within his chakra supply, so breaking the curse that Orochimaru put on him. And like Kakashi Sensei said, don't break this, like don't, because it's a bad idea, and he did it anyway. I was like, no, please Sasuke, don't do this. He breaks that and delves into that power, so kind of like sacrifices part of his soul is how I kind of saw it, and still it does nothing, and he thinks he's gonna die at this point, and then Naruto comes in and saves the day, and they have this like cute moment. And when I say cute moment, like I don't ship them in that way, I like friendship in shows, and I feel like they're bonding in a friendship way, and I really appreciate that. But I have this like niggling doubt in my mind that it's going to be ripped away from me, their friendship. I feel like they're going to get dead close and then it's going to be ripped away, but I don't know, and I haven't seen much more of Naruto, so I'm a bit worried, but fingers crossed that it goes okay for them. I fear it won't though. I've got feelings. And then as Naruto and Sakura have come to save Sasuke, Gara sees how Sakura's willing to defend Sasuke at any cost, and it reminds him of like his uncle and everything, and we get a flashback to Gaara's past, which, I don't know how you do this to me, Naruto, but you really make me so sad for characters that I actually despise at first, then I'm like, oh my god, this is terrible. So his backstory revolves around him being born with this spirit within him. That was the reason he was created. His mother died in childbirth, and as a young boy, his sand always protects him from being hurt. He doesn't know what pain feels like. And one day he's talking to his uncle about the fact he doesn't know what pain feels like, and he explains to him physical pain, and then he explains to him emotional pain, and that love is the only cure for emotional pain. And this kind of shapes his worldview a bit later on in life. And you think, oh, his uncle's nice, you know what I mean? Like, he's a nice person to him. And you kind of are creeped out by Gara because he is so powerful at such a young age. So when he has a temper tantrum, it's got devastating consequences. So I think somebody says something to Gara and he ends up killing them out of anger because he's trying to make friends and he can't do it because, again, the sand is always around him. So when he kills somebody, an assassin's sent to kill him because he's getting out of control. They can't control him as a child. How the hell are they going to control him as an adult? So this assassin is sent, but Gara kills the assassin very quickly, but then the assassin turns out to have been his uncle. Now at first I thought they were going to go with his uncle was forced to do this and for the sake of the village, but his uncle's just like, nah player, I hate you. You are the reason that I have so much like misery in my life. You killed my sister. She hated you. No one will ever love you. And you're just sitting there like, okay, damn. It just hits you in the feels and it's so sad and awful. Like, you're like, oh god, Gara, are you okay, honey? Because this is terrible. And while this is all going on, Gara and Naruto are kind of like arguing about caring for people and how it's a weakness in Gaara's mind and it's a strength to Naruto. And then Naruto comes to this realization that they are kind of very similar people. They both had similar upbringings. They were both orphans with this deep power within them. And if Naruto had not found friendship and love and camaraderie in ninja school, then he would have ended up just like Gara. And it kind of spurs him on to fight and also worries Naruto that he and Gara are so similar. But Gara took a darker path and Naruto took a better one, and he kind of, the way I perceived it anyway, was that he was fighting his own demon in this fight. This was all this negativity that Naruto had as a young boy about wanting, you know, to fight everyone because he felt so rejected and he felt so lost. This was him overcoming that and confirming to himself that he in fact is somebody that loves and cares for people, and that's where he draws his strength from, is the fact that he cares so much. But like all that deep shit, just pass that away because now we get like Gara going into like full beast mode. So then Sasuke's like, Naruto, take Sakura and get out of here, run away. And Naruto's like, nah player, and he summons the big frog, and then you get this big sand fox and this frog fighting. Didn't know I wanted that, but I loved it. And they start scrapping for a bit, and the frog points out, I can't latch onto him because I've got no claws. Like, I need fangs and claws to attack him properly. He can, the frog's like, I can shapeshift or something, but you need to give me a shape. And what can Naruto think of with fangs and claws? He thinks of the nine-tailed fox. So we get these two massive foxes fighting in the sky, and I'm not gonna lie, it was amazing. Really loved that, really enjoyed it, may have been cheering as it was going on. You can't prove it. And at this point as well, Gaara's been knocked out and the spirit has taken control, so he's the most powerful of the two in that relationship at the minute. So the frog obviously says to Naruto, you need to like wake him up, and he full bore headbutts him to wake him up, which works, and the two then crash to the ground, and Naruto is like blood everywhere at this point, crawling on hands and knees, being like, I will protect my friends from you. And it was so epic, and you're just staring at it going, oh my god, I don't know what's gonna happen. But Gaara is rescued by Kankaro, and Tamira manage to save Gaara and take him away. And as they're taking him away to safety, he says sorry to them, which I was like super surprised by. I wasn't expecting that, but loved it. And I'm thinking, is he gonna have a change of heart later in the series? Because there's still this whole beef going on with the Sand and Leaf Village now, and it's very interesting and I'm super excited for it. So anyway, Gaara's gone, and the Hokage and Orochimaru are fighting still. And at this point, the third Hokage is like, I'm not going to make it out of this alive, and does a forbidden jutsu which summons, I believe it's death or something, and he pulls the souls out of the first and second Hokage, and we learn that they were Orochimaru's students that he sacrificed. Gets hold of Orochimaru's soul but isn't strong enough, and Orochimaru stabs him through the chest, and we have these couple of episodes where that he's like pulling his soul out and he's pushing the sword through him. And they're fighting and fighting, and the third Hokage realizes he can't kill him. He doesn't have the strength to kill him, but he doesn't need to kill him. He failed to kill him when he was younger, and he should have done it, and he still kind of can't do it. So what he does is he takes like the life out of Orochimaru's hands, so he can't perform any jutsus, which is like, oh, it was like not what I was expecting, but super loved it. And I also feel like this is not the end of Orochimaru, which I'm kind of sad about, because it feels like the third Hokage died for this, and I worry it was in vain. But again, we'll see where the story goes. And then after that's happened and the Hokage's dead, Orochimaru's goons or whatever come in, take him away. There's a wardrobe there, out, and the village is kind of left to heal and mourn what they've lost. And we have the funeral for the third Hokage. Again, I may have cried. You cannot prove it to anyone. For this arc, I feel like Naruto, out of all the other arcs, has grown the most. Like, I think he got stronger in the previous two, but this one, it seemed he like matured and became more of a ninja, if that makes sense. And what I'm saying to you, it probably doesn't. So I just really enjoyed this whole arc. I thought there was some incredible fights, there was some amazing action sequences, amazing character development. Some characters that didn't shine as much in the previous arcs got to really shine. One of my criticisms was there was not enough Hinata for my liking. I love that girl, will protect her with my life. My favourite characters of the arc: number 1, got to be Kakashi Sensei. He's my favourite boy ever. Number 2 would be Shikamaru. He's really gone up there. I really liked him. Number 3, I would probably say Naruto. I feel like he's grown so much and he is developing with each passing arc, and I've got a lot of time for him. He's a real special boy to me and I really care for him. Oh, another boy that's very close to my heart, Rock Lee. I think he turns up to the tuning band and he's just there, and it's just like he can't do anything, and that breaks my heart so much. And I want him to get better. Like, I'm praying that they find some magical way to make him better. And number 5, what's that guy's name? I can see him now. Oh God, I always forget his name. It's the Bug Boy. Bug Boy is number 5 for me. He's a little cutie. Like, I kind of don't know his personality yet. He feels very reserved and cut off, which I don't mind at characters, but he's getting there. I liked what they did, and hopefully as the arcs progress we get to see more of him. That would be the dream. Here on this channel I am going through all the older kind of animes, new ones as well, but I'm trying to understand animes from the past because I am very new to watching anime myself. I'm a new weeb, a baby weeb if you will. So if you want to come join me on my Instagram, I post my updates and then I do videos like this to round up what I've seen. So if you've liked this, please make me subscribe. It's fine if you don't want to, but you can if you want to, so bye.